Hello students, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be studying about language translators. So in the previous videos, we have been studying about software, the types of software. We have discussed about the system software, three important types of system software, and the second main important type of software is the programming tools. So in the section of programming tools, previously we have also studied about the types of programming languages. So now to convert from one programming language to another, we need language translators, and this is the topic of our today's lecture. So we are studying class 11th computer science, chapter 1, computer system. Okay. So in this video, we need to learn how to convert high level language into machine level language. So we studied that high level languages are human understandable, but they cannot be understood by the computer. So the code that is written in high level language is known as the source code, and the code that is written in machine language. Machine language is in the forms of bits that are zeros and ones, and this machine code, or also known as object code, is directly understandable by the computer. So if we are writing a program or a code in high level language or in assembly language, then we need a language translator. And what are the main types of language translators that we have? See, depending upon the source code, language translators would be different. If you are writing a source code in a high level language, then you need a different type of language translator to convert into the object code. If you are writing a program in assembly language, then you need a different type of language translator to convert into the object code. So the ultimate goal will always be coming to the stage when we have the object code or machine code, because that is the language understood by the computers. Okay, so now there are three main types of language translators. The first is the assembler. Assembler, as the name suggests, it converts assembly language into machine language. Okay, so if you have written a code in assembly language, that you'll need to run the assembler, which understands assembly language, and it will convert that code into machine language. Okay, but we have seen earlier also, the assembly language code is machine dependent. It is not portable, and therefore the machine language code or the object code that is generated by the assembler is also not portable. It is also machine dependent. It varies from the architecture of the computer system. Assembly language code written for a specific architecture will not run on another computer that is using a different architecture. So this is one of the biggest disadvantages also. Okay, so this was the first kind of language translator. The second kind of language translator is the compiler, and the third kind is the interpreter. Now both the compiler and the interpreter are used to convert high level language into machine language, okay, or a source code written in high level language into an object code, which is the machine code or the machine language code. Okay, now what is the difference between a compiler and interpreter? See, compiler, what it does, it takes the entire program that is in a high level language, and it translates the entire program into the machine code. Okay, but what interpreter does, interpreter sees one line of the code, it translates it or interprets it and converts it into the machine code. If there is no error in the first line, then it goes to the second line, then it converts it, and so on. So interpreter does not uh, convert the entire program in one go. It works line by line. So this process is slightly slower, and if there is any kind of error in a particular line, then the interpreter would not proceed further as unless that particular error in that specific line is corrected. However, the compiler takes the entire program, gives you the entire machine code and the corresponding errors for each line, that how how much code it has understood, it converts it or it compiles it accordingly, and then it gives you the machine code. So once we have the correct machine code with us, we do not need any compiler any further for execution. So the compiler is required as long as you do not have the machine code. Once you have the correct machine code, you can use that machine code to run it on any language. Okay, but this is not the case with an interpreter. Since an interpreter sees one line and then converts it, sees another line, then converts it, executes this line correctly, then it converts the next line. Okay, so that is why an interpreter is required during the execution also. Okay, so this is the main difference between compiler and interpreter. Now, in programming tools, there is also a concept of the editor, the IDE, and the debugger. So these are three main terms that you will become very familiar with when you start writing your own codes and programming, and you start programming in computer-based languages. So just like a word editor, just like any text editor, a programming language editor allows you to write and edit your programs in a computer level in a high level language, uh, in a high level computer language. Okay, so an editor will allow you to write some code. Now a simple code can also be written in a notepad file, a notepad as a notepad file. So a notepad can also allow you to write text document. A notepad will also allow you to write a Python program. So it is an editor, but it is not very specific to writing the programs in high level language. Now there are very specific editors that allow only that allow you to only write programs in high level languages for the computer, and those specific programs which have other additional facilities like debugging and running of your program, which allow you not only to write the program, they also allow you to find errors in those programs. Such platforms or such applications are known as integrated development environments, or in short IDEs. Now they are called so because they provide a complete platform or a complete environment in which you can not only write your code, you can execute or run your code, see how your program or code is performing, and you can also debug it. Now what is a debugger, or what do we mean by debugging? Debugging basically refers to finding out and correcting errors in the programs. Okay, so an IDE gives you the facility, it is a complete platform that allows you or gives you the facility of not only a text editor, but it also helps you in executing the programs and debugging them. Okay, and famous IDEs for different computer languages exist. For Python, it is the Python IDLE or PyCharm or Jupyter Notebook. For Java, there are NetBeans, Eclipse, and so on. Okay, so coming to the summary of this lecture, in this lecture we studied the second main type of software, which is the programming tools, and we studied about language translator. What is a translator? As the name suggests, it converts or translates a high level or assembly language code into machine language code, and high level code is also generally known as the source code, and machine language code is known as the object code. Now there are three types of translators. Assemblers convert assembly language to machine language. Compilers and interpreters convert high level language to machine language. Okay, so you can pause this video here and you can take down the notes for your exams if required. Okay, now there is a stark difference between the compiler and the interpreter. The compiler compiles the entire program in one go and gives you the result. It gives you all the errors. Okay, but interpreter performs the translation operation one line at a time. That is why it is also a little slower. Now what is an editor? It allows you to write programs. A text editor will allow you to write text documents, and if it also allows you to write a programming language code, then also we call it as an editor. But an integrated development environment are specifically built for writing, editing, translating, as well as debugging your codes. Now, translation also involves converting your high level code into an object code that will be directly run, that can be directly run on your machine. Okay, so I hope you understood this lecture. Please hit the like button if you found this lecture interesting and you learned something from it. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you want to get the notifications of our future videos as well. So in the next video, we'll be studying about application software. Till then, see you. Till then, mind your exam and see you in the next video. Thank you.